Hello everyone and welcome. I'm a little bit excited today because I have some Christmas projects to share with you, and I always love playing with Christmas papers and stickers and die cut pieces, and this collection does not disappoint. I actually have 9 layouts to share with you today. I've got 4 double page spreads and 1 single page, and it's from a collection called Home for Christmas. It's in the September-October 2023 catalogue, and I'll just flip through to it and quickly show you. It's a very traditional style palette. It's got a lovely wood grain, it's got plaid, it's got this gorgeous pattern, and I haven't actually featured either of these 2 pattern papers within the pages that I've done, but I have more projects coming very, very soon. I've used this paper pack, the sticker sheet, and 1 packet of embellishments. So all you need to make these layouts is the 1 paper pack with sticker sheets and this coordinating die cut set, and of course some cardstock, and I've brought in a little bit of silver glitter paper as well as some little bitty gems and some clear sparkles. There actually isn't any stamping on any of these pages, and I have created a scrapbooking guide with full cutting directions, color photos, and measurements and everything, and I will have a link for that below if you want to click on that and check that out. It will have all the instructions of how I put everything together. I couldn't wait to start playing with this collection. My favorite pattern, I think, is this black paper here with the script word art on it. The font they've used is fabulous. I love the distressed look to these. There's words like stockings hung with care, meet me under the mistletoe, holiday traditions, jolly, Christmas tree, all sorts of gorgeous Christmas sayings that we use each and every year when it comes to celebrating Christmas. So you can see with this one here, I've got a few clusters happening. Often when I'm designing these sort of scrapbook guides, I look to the stickers to pick the titles that I'm going to use for my layouts. So you can see here I've used Dear Santa Claus as the title for here, and then I've dressed this up with the die cuts. Now what you'll notice with the die cuts, this is the candy cane here and the 2 stockings, and you can see they do have matching cardstock dies that go with it, and this candy cane had candy apple behind it, this stocking had candy apple, and this stocking here has a pine piece to go behind it. But when I was looking at them on the page, because there's quite a bit of black on this page, they looked a little bit too dark. So I was doing this on a weekend away with some girlfriends, and one of the girls suggested that I added glitter paper. So thanks Paula for that. I really love the touches of glitter paper with this, just to add a bit of sparkle and shine, and this is why I brought in the bitty sparkles as well, because that brings in that silver element. And then just adding a couple of little strips just to top and tail this main feature piece over here, and this long strip down here just brings the glitter in together. Now when you're looking at these die cuts, there's quite a few layered elements on this. It's not just the stockings and the candy cane. The ornaments have backings to them, as do these tab elements here, and also this postage stamp, and the poinsettias layer up as well. And also the Noel has a layered element. So I'll just bring the Noel up a little bit so you can check it out. You can see that there are 2 layers. The base layer is with a red cardstock, and the top layer is with black paperboard, which is a thicker material than the actual cardstock. So if I show you here, and this is quite bendy, this is the cardstock weight, and this is the black paperboard, and it doesn't bend as much as what the actual cardstock does. I do love how a lot of the die cuts with the black are on this paperboard type material. It's nice and solid, and it's very easy to work with. So you can see from this is what I mean by having 2 layers to it, and I did point those out to you just before, which ones of these layer up. So you can see with these clusters here, there is a variety of elements. There are the die cut pieces, there's a sticker, this is a die cut and a sticker. The hearts are die cuts as well. These little speech bubbles, they're stickers, and this little journal box here, that's a sticker as well, and it actually has a sled on the sticker, but I flipped it upside down, had a little bit of the poinsettia peeking out from underneath this photo holder here, and that way the sled is not there. The sled isn't as relevant to me with my Christmas photos because obviously when it's Christmas here, it is summer. I've also done a little bit of fussy cutting with one of the stickers. This was an oval with a poinsettia on it, so I fussy cut it out, cut it in half, and I've used that to come out from each edge of these photos here. And then all these other elements that I have around, all the floral elements and the leaves and the little sprigs and the poinsettias, these are all fussy cut from from various elements on this sheet of paper here. So with the cutting guide, I had about this much paper left over by the time I finished my page layouts, and then I did some fussy cutting with it. So you can see I've got the tree here coming out from behind here. I've taken some gifts, I've fussy cut those out as well. And then I've flipped the paper over and you can see where these poinsettia and leaf elements are coming from. So I've done this with a couple of the pages, and I think by adding these little elements in on some of these layouts, it just adds so much to these clusters rather than just having these two little speech bubbles here, giving them something else to make them all belong on the page, and grouping these around the stockings and also around the corner of this title and around this mailbox as well. I just love all the layering with that. So some of them are applied direct to page and some are popped up on foam tape. So if you're not into fussy cutting, there are other things that you could do. You can just leave this as an element on the page like this. This is where it was when I finished up with it, but I thought about it for a couple of days and decided that I did want to take the time and use the leftovers from this sheet of paper to add some more elements. If you don't want to do that sort of thing with the fussy cutting and you don't like doing it, you could use some stamped elements instead. Any poinsettia stamp would work. So this one is the Holiday Banner Stamp and Thin Cuts. It's in the current catalogue and you can see it's got a couple of poinsettias and some sprigs and leaves and berries. So that would work quite well in place of all these other elements. The other set that you could use as well is this Home for Christmas card making workshop kit. This comes with some stocking stamps and also these gorgeous little sprigs. They're die cut pieces, so you can see here you actually die cut these out. So they would work well to tuck around these elements that you're creating with the die cuts and the stickers from the Home for Christmas set. There's also a stamp set that gives you the base of some gifts, patterns to stamp on top of those bases, and then thin cuts to dress them up with bows and ribbons and things like that. So there's lots of things that you could use from this catalogue, but you can also use things that you might already have in your Christmas supplies. And of course, it is personal preference as to how much you add to something like this. Normally, I just usually have 1 or 2 embellishments, but I did have a lot of fun creating these clusters and tucking all these little pieces in and around, and also tucking a little envelope that I cut out from the pattern paper. It's this one here, and then slid it into the mailbox. I think that looks super cute. All right, so that's layout 1. Let's move on to layout 2. I've used the wood grain pattern and also that icon paper, and you can see I've top and tailed these photo mats here. This is a sticker from the sticker sheet set, and then I've tucked some of these little word strips in and around the papers as well, and these bows are actually on the sticker sheet as well. I've got one that I haven't used here, so I just cut up sections of it and had them coming out from the sides of the photos. One of the things I love about these pages is with the clusters, in 3 of these clusters here, there's a little surprise thing tucked in each of them. Here I've tucked a little gift that's been fussy cut out, also a little envelope from that icon pattern paper. You can see it printed here and here, so tucking it in amongst these florals brings all of this together. And here's another one of those little gifts as well, tucked in underneath the poinsettia. And then I've grouped another little cluster around this title here and popped quite a few of these pieces up on foam tape to give a little bit of dimension and to separate them from the background of this pattern paper. And because I fussy cut them out and left the border around them, that helps them pop as well. I am going to show you at the end of the video what I have left over from the 1 paper packet with sticker sheets and the pack of die cuts, so you can see how much I've actually utilised within this scrapbook guide. Layout 3 goes back to the black and the red and the silver. I love this gingham strip here, and then I've just used a section of it across here. These banner stickers work so well going across here like a swag and then finishing off each end with the poinsettia die cuts. And this is 1 doily die cut that I have cut in half and just put on each side here. And I think you can see from this that having the silver glitter paper behind these gorgeously intricate cut die cuts just works so well and just adds a bit of sparkle and shine. Originally, as I said earlier, they were backed with this pine colour and also the candy apple, but they really pop having the silver behind them. I think this page might be my favorite one in this scrapbooking guide that I've created. I really just love the simplicity of this and the white space that just brings everything into this central focus. It's almost like having a shadow box frame around this piece here. So let's move on to layout 4. This one here has the icon paper paired with the wood again, and I've got stickers here for the title, and I've put this little joy word sticker strip over top of this wreath sticker, and I think they pair beautifully together. And you can see that I've just trimmed the edge off here. I didn't want to bring it too much into what's going to be my photo here. And then the little strips of the silver glitter paper across the top of these banner pieces and this whole section here just adds the right amount of bling to this. I love how the 3 banner strips all work together, and then a series of photos on one big photo mat works really, really well. And then these little banner strips here are perfect for writing with a silver or a white gel pen. And for journaling on this page, I'm going to use some flip flaps. I will have a series of photos on this, but this middle one here is going to have my journaling, and then I'm going to put a flip flap to go over top of that one. So it'll be 3 photos on the top with my journaling underneath. Now I'm going to bring in layout 5, and you can see from this one, this would be like a title page or an ending page for a Christmas story. The word Christmas here is actually a die cut, and I used the negative space of the carrier sheet so that I could adhere my letters within that while I'd lined it up onto my page. So then everything is all nice and straight. I didn't have to use a ruler at all, and the spacing is perfect with that. So when you're pushing out your die cut pieces, remember to keep the word art pieces. Once again, you can see that I've fussy cut out some of the icons here with all of this grouping. There aren't any actual stickers on this layout. They're all from the front side of this, and I will indicate in the cutting guide which sections I have done all the cutting from. These photo mats, I've purposefully kept the wooden piece as a larger mat, and that will make the photos really pop. And this is a little bit subtle. There's a candy cane from the pattern paper that is sticking out from this stocking here. But I love this little grouping of the wreath with the gifts, the poinsettia, and the ornaments. And here's that tree again. I really love the tree in this paper pack, and I think I featured it 3 times throughout the scrapbook layouts. So I'm going to bring in what I have left over. And I just wanted to mention that those of you who are a VIP with me, if you have signed up to be a VIP with me, you will get a copy of this scrapbook guide as a thank you for being a VIP with me. For those of you that want to purchase just the instructions, you can do that. The link will be below. And for customers who order online, as long as the order comes to a minimum of $80 and includes the Home for Christmas paper pack with sticker sheet and the die cut sheets, you'll get a copy of the guide for free as well. So I'm just laying everything out here. This is pretty much all I have left over from the kit, apart from one sticker that says Winter Wonderland that I can't seem to find. I don't know quite what I've done with that. These are 2 stickers here that are left, and of course the Winter Wonderland. I'm going to find spots for these 2 little hearts, I think, somewhere. I didn't use this zip strip pattern at all throughout. It was just a little bit too dark for the scrapbook layouts that I had. And this gives you an idea of what I've done with fussy cutting pieces out. This is all I have left, apart from tiny little scrap pieces of that icon paper and the poinsettia pattern. And I just kept this to show you that when I'm cutting things out from my scraps, I even cut out these little bits that are on the edges of the paper as well, because you might have noticed when I was going through the pages that I have quite a few poinsettia elements that are peeking out from behind photos. So even though they're not full elements at all, I can still use these on my layouts. So it's quite easy to cut that out. It doesn't matter that it's a whole poinsettia, because when you bring that in to a scrapbook layout, and I'll just bring one in. So I'm just going to bring in layout 2 so I can show you what I mean. You can see I've got one poking out here, here, and here. These were all pieces that were on the edge of a cut, and you can use those to create the look of a layer of poinsettia. This one here actually had this corner piece cut out of it, so it's not even a whole one. It's got that part cut out of it, and I just tucked it behind here. So when you're doing your trimming and everything on these pages, don't throw away the pieces that are only a half a poinsettia or might have an area cut into them. You can still use them and tuck them down behind photos, and it's a great way to get as much use out of this piece piece of paper as you possibly can, and also to make ephemera out of pattern paper. So this to me is like a little ephemera pack over here. You can see that this is a poinsettia here from this one. I've got the tree that is from this side here. I've got the little gifts that are here. I've also used the little envelope here. And then when we look back at this side as well, I've got this holly and ivy type piece. I've got different colors of poinsettias tucked in behind here. And down on this element here, you can see this is where the leaves and even holly elements as well. It was a whole lot of fun creating ephemera pieces from basically this section here. I hope you enjoyed this flip through of my Christmas projects. And while I'm talking Christmas, if you haven't signed up already for the 31 days of Christmas cards with the creative design team, you can see on the graphic here, registration is still currently open and will be until 1st of October, midnight Mountain Time in America. So there's still time to sign up for that. We are so excited that it's going to be kicking off very, very soon on 1st of October with a video and a handout each and every day. So I'm hoping that you can join us there for all things Christmas cards. Thank you so much for tuning in today. As always, happy crafting and bye for now.